Okay, guys, let's get to know our vocabulary for the week. The first word is athlete. Cycling is the favorite sport of this athlete. He raced in the Olympics. So as we look for context clues, because remember that's our goal when we look at our vocabulary in context, is to look for clues in the short little sentences here that can help us guess the meaning of the word. So when we look at this example, cycling is the favorite sport of this athlete. He raced in the Olympics. He raced in the Olympics. That tells me he's a competitor of sorts, because the Olympics, we know that is, our background knowledge tells us that that is a big event where people come from all over the world to compete in different events, and those people that come to compete in the Olympics, they have some sort of special talent, like some people are good at running, some people are good at jumping. This man is clearly good at cycling. So since he's cycling, and it says it's his favorite sport, that's another clue there. He raced in the Olympics. All these clues here with my background knowledge helps me guess that an athlete is someone who participates in a particular sport or event. So when we look here at our actual definition, one who engages in a sport is our actual definition. So there's that word we saw in our context clues. So kind of helped us understand that athletes are people, or one who engages in a sport. Competitor. Each competitor tries her best to help the team win the game. Okay? So when we look for clues here in the text, each competitor tries her best to help win the game. Okay? So if someone's helping to win a game or an event, and those people are called competitors, that tells me competitors must mean something like someone trying to win. Just like in our text clues, it says it's someone who's trying to help win the game. Competitor is someone trying to win a game or a sporting event of some sort. Power. This player uses all his power or strength to hit the ball out of the park. And we've talked about this word before. Usually when you see the word or in this situation, or is a big clue you're about to get a synonym or a word that means the same thing as your unknown word. So when we look here after or, we see strength. This power uses all his power or strength to hit the ball out of the park. So or is helping me understand that strength and power are synonyms. They have a similar meaning. So that helps me guess power must mean the strength a person has, okay? The actual definition for power is strength. Court. Now this one's kind of tricky because court is one of those words that has more than one meaning. There's lots of those in our English language, which really makes us being able to use context clues so important. When we have a word like court that can mean more than one thing, we really have to look at the text and clues around the word to help us know what the word means in this particular example. Basketball, tennis, and volleyball are all played on a court, not on a field. So in this example, the word not is a big clue. That helps me understand that a field and a court are opposites. They've given me an antonym clue here. When it says basketball, tennis, and volleyball are played on a court, not on a field, that helps me understand that a court and a field are opposites. They aren't really the same. So a court must be similar in some ways to a field. It's a place where certain sporting events are played, but it's not like a field. It's a little different. So let's see what the actual definition of court is. It's an area where games are played, a game area. Championship. Each player got a medal from winning the championship or a competition. So our word or there is a clue that competition and championship are similar in meaning. They're synonyms, okay? So championship means the match or game to determine the ultimate winner, okay? So when we look back here, competition or championship, that would be the match or game to determine the ultimate winner, championship. Professional. Professional basketball players are paid for their work. Okay, in this example, the fact that they're paid for their work helps me understand that if you're a professional basketball player, that makes you different from people that play the game just for fun because you're paid for your work. So these clues here help me guess that professional athletes or professional basketball players get paid for playing the game. So professional means they're highly skilled. You're highly skilled, so much so that you get paid to play the game. That's like your job. Rooting. These students love rooting for their team, for their favorite team. They cheer loudly. So in this example, the fact that they cheer loudly helps me guess that rooting is when fans or students, people in general, cheer for their favorite team. The actual definition for rooting is cheering. So when you're rooting on your favorite team, you're cheering for them. Last word, entire. The racer in front led the entire way from start to finish. So in this example, when it says from start to finish, helps me understand that entire means the whole race, from the time the race started all the way to the time the race finished. So entire would mean like the whole race. The actual definition would be all. Just like in this example, the racer in front led all the way. So if we replaced entire with all, still sounds right and makes sense. That helps us know that entire would mean like the whole way or all the way from start to finish. Alright guys, so now that we know our vocabulary for the week, we've previewed them, we've looked at them in text, so we know how they might be used throughout our story. You've got your vocabulary list here. I want you guys to do your vocabulary flipbook. Remember, when we complete these, it gives you the word, championship, and the definition, okay? It gives you both your word and your definition. Miss Roberts wants to see, or your teacher wants to see, if you can use those words. Can you think of a sentence that would use that word correctly? So for example, for championship, I might say, the Bulldogs played in the championship The Bulldogs played in the championship game. That shows me that you know how to use this vocabulary correctly. You understand it. You can use it in a sentence. The Bulldogs played in the championship game. After you use your word in a sentence, make sure you underline the word. That way, sometimes we get so caught up in writing sentences we forget to actually use our vocabulary. So make sure you're underlining the vocabulary word you use in each of your sentences. And then over here, just draw a quick sketch. It's kind of hard for me to draw with a mouse, but I might draw a team. Okay, this is the Bulldogs. I'll make their uniforms orange because they're the Burt Burnett Bulldogs. Okay, and I'm going to draw them playing football. Now as I draw this picture, whatever I draw here, there's no right or wrong thing to draw. Whatever you draw should be something that helps you connect to the meaning of the word. Something that's going to help you remember that championship means the match or game to determine the ultimate winner. So you might draw a trophy or a medal around their necks, because if you win the championship, that means you've won the ultimate game. You are the champions. So maybe in your picture you might draw a medal around their necks or a trophy, okay? Whatever you draw should help you remember the meaning of the word. So you're going to complete this activity for the rest of your vocabulary. If you finish the the vocabulary activity while your teacher is still meeting with reading groups, you know you have options of things to do to keep yourselves quiet and busy and engaged in learning. So you will choose one of the other activities you know you can do to work on until your teacher is finished with reading groups.